In this video, I'm going to be discussing over 25 business tax deductions that business owners frequently miss, which causes them to overpay in taxes by hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in taxes. For example, when you're deducting the auto loan, many people just get reimbursed for the mileage for that. But did you know that in addition to using the standard method and getting reimbursed for mileage, you could also deduct the interest portion of the loan for that payment that you're making for that vehicle. For those of you who don't know who I am and might be seeing me for the first time, my name is Navi Miraj. I'm a CPA who specializes in helping real estate professionals. So that's the real estate agent, realtor, or broker, right? But that said, some of these might be specific to real estate, but they can apply to your business as well if you're not a real estate professional. So if you've subscribed to the channel, then you've seen different videos, and you know that this is sort of part of the maximizing deduction section rather of tax planning, right? And so I'm going through the series of videos in tax planning, and this is sort of step one, maximizing your deductions. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it, but I definitely invite you over to my YouTube channel to watch that sort of video series. Already covered in that video series was the home office deduction, auto, meals, travel, and even hiring your children for a tax deduction. So those deductions alone is likely to save you thousands of dollars in taxes, not additional tax deductions, but literally the actual tax dollars you pay will be reduced by thousands if you implement those strategies, right? So I'm about to get into the list, but first let's talk about why these deductions are missed in the first place, right? And it's probably two or three reasons. One is, and you're going to know if you're guilty of this, is not doing bookkeeping throughout the year, right? So if you're not doing the bookkeeping throughout the year, then there's no way, come March or April, and you're thinking back to January of the previous year, that you're going to know what deduction was what. Even if you're looking at your bank statement, you're just going to miss things. And that's critical that when you own a small business, you need to be keeping up with your bookkeeping at least on a monthly basis. Even worse are those of you who unfortunately mix business and personal. So you might have a personal account with business expenses in it, and then at the end of the year, you're trying to go through that same procedure and you're just missing deductions all over the place. You don't know if something was personal or business, or it's just not crossing your mind because you're rushing because the deadline's coming and you're just missing deductions. The third reason is if you're working with a tax professional, that's really not going to help you. Really, they're just saying, okay, give me your deductions, I'll plug them in my software, and here's your tax return, right? They're just looking to charge you a couple $100s to prepare your return and move on with life until they see you again next year. So with that said, let's get to the list, and I've even put these in alphabetical order for you. So the first one's obvious. Not many people miss this one, but advertising and marketing, right? Sometimes, I could see people who are charging, Facebook ads to a personal account because that's what it's been linked to in the past, and they're missing that deduction. Bank service fees, so that's your incoming and external, wire transfer fees, and any, unfortunately, NSF charges or transfer fees. All those are tax deductible. Bookkeeping software, or even the mileage tracking software that you use, the cost of that is 100% deductible. Brokerage fees, this is specific to my realtor clients out there. So, if you rent office space in your brokerage, or if they charge you any type of desk fees or additional trainings that you sign up for, then those are all tax deductible. Club dues and membership. So that would be like networking events that you might be a part of, or your MLS fees that are due, every year. Those dues and membership fees are all tax deductible. Commissions paid is another one. So, usually your broker or your disbursement agreement is handling this, but I'm saying if you got paid the commission and you received the funds, and then, someone did you a favor, maybe while you're out of the office or you were busy, they showed another home for you, if you pay them, then that amount is tax deductible, and oftentimes you're not deducting it. Contract labor. So what I mean by contract labor is, the person that's doing their photography or videography, perhaps you're doing like a deep clean in a home, staging, if you're paying someone to stage a home for you, repairs. I know some of you work really hard and you're paying for someone to do repairs to a place. And this could even be a transaction coordinator that you're hiring. Education and training. So this could be a sales coach that you've hired to help you grow your business, or just continuing education to keep your real estate license active, or anything like that. This sounds obvious, but employees, if you have an employee, they really should be on payroll so you wouldn't lose track of it. But this could be like an admin that you have in the office, or someone else that handles things for you. You definitely need to be deducting the money that you pay those folks. Don't just pay them, under the table. Equipment is a big one. Equipment, what I mean by this is, if it's $2,500 or less, then you can expense that item right away. You don't have to what's called capitalize that item and depreciate it over years to come. You can deduct equipment that costs $2,500 or less in the same year that you purchase it. Gifts are a big one. And honestly, gifts are one that are frequently misused, even by accountants. So the rule, although it's super antiquated by the IRS, is that if I give a gift and the value of that gift is over $25, my tax deduction for that gift is still capped at $25. So if I give someone a $100 gift, I can only deduct $25 of that as a tax deduction. So if you give a $500 gift, you're still capped at $25. So the IRS is pretty stiff on that. They haven't moved on that $25 in, I think, decades. And it's really unfortunate, but you need to limit your gift expense. Insurance. So most of the time your brokerage might cover this fee, but if you have professional liability insurance, also called E&O, or errors and omissions, or even if you just have a general business insurance policy, those are deductible. Interest is another one. So if it's on a business line of credit or a business credit card, pretty obvious that that's deductible. But if you have a personal credit card that you use solely for business, then you know in your mind that all the interest that you pay on that credit card is due to business expenses, right? That's another reason why you don't want to commingle funds. If you're using one credit card for personal and business, it'd be challenging to deduct the interest expense because you're not sure what amount of that interest is allocated to personal expenses that are on that card and what's allocated to business. Same thing, interest on a car loan. I mentioned that earlier at the top of the video. Even if you're using the standard mileage method, what you would do is you would take the interest portion of your loan payment, multiply that by the business use percentage that you're using the vehicle. Quite often my realtor clients are probably using their vehicle 80% of the time for business. So it'd be 80% of the amount of interest that you're paying each month. You can deduct that. Another one would be legal and professional fees. So any fees you pay someone like myself as a CPA or a tax preparer or an attorney to form an LLC or what have you, those fees, if it's you're hiring them to do business services for you, those are all deductible. Your licenses and the renewal of such licenses. So for you realtors out there, if you have a real estate license, then the fees to renew that license are deductible. Also, for those of you who are not realtors but also probably pay a business tax or pay for an occupational license, some states call this, those taxes are deductible. Open house. So, any of the food that you're purchasing for open house, not only is it deductible, but it's not treated like regular meals, right? That's 100% deductible because you're using it as part of your business. So the wine and cheese and all that stuff, it's all deductible. Another one that gets missed when it comes to the auto deduction is parking and tolls. Parking and tolls is separate from the deduction the IRS gives you if you're using the mileage method. So the parking and tolls can be deducted in addition to the reimbursement you're getting for mileage. In 2020, as of the date of shooting this video, the mileage deduction, I believe, is 57.5 cents per mile. Phone and internet. So for phone and internet, again, my realtor clients, you could probably be fairly aggressive, but be reasonable, right? So maybe you're using your phone 80% for business. So if you've got a $200 phone bill, then maybe $160 of that you should be writing off. Same thing with home internet. That one gets missed a lot, or tax preparers lump that into home office. Well, you can kind of pull that out, and maybe for the internet bill that you receive for your home, if you're doing a lot of business, maybe up to 70 or 80% is reasonable. Postage and delivery is another one. it adds up. UPS, FedEx, overnighting documents, it all adds up and you should be deducting it. As well as, along the same lines, printing fees for signage or anything like that is also a tax deduction. So if you pay rent or lease, so for my real estate clients, this might be storage you have for signage. Some of my clients have tons of signs all over the place. And if it's too much to be in your garage and you're renting someplace for it, then you can deduct whatever you're paying for storage. Same thing with if you like to stage homes, all the furniture you purchase to stage, and if you're renting some space out, you can deduct the rent or lease for that storage space. Or if you rent equipment, let's say you want to use a drone, but you don't want to purchase a drone, same thing, that's deductible. Repairs and maintenance. So some of you go above and beyond and perform repairs and maintenance to a home just to get something looking a little bit better before you sell it or show it to someone. So that is definitely deductible. Keep track of those expenses if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or what have you. Also, I'll kind of include it now is like, how many times have you dropped your cell phone and maybe cracked the screen? Then if you repair your smartphone, which is used quite a bit for business or even solely for business, then you may deduct 100% if it's 100% business use, or maybe 80% of that bill if you use your phone 80% for business. Software, that you're purchasing, maybe monthly subscriptions for your computer or your smartphone is deductible. Staging that you perform. So not that you hired earlier I said under contract labor that if you pay someone to stage a home, then you pay them. But if you're doing it yourself and you're purchasing, different decor for that, then you can deduct those different pieces of furniture that you're paying for to stage that home. Supplies for your office, that's kind of obvious, but tape and printer ink and all that stuff, paper, all that stuff. Another one is state fees. So state fees, when I say that, I mean like state fees to renew your LLC or corporation. I can't speak for all states, but I know in Florida, if you accidentally pay that late, the state charges you a $400 late fee. So if you pay that late and you paid that $400 late fee, that sucks, but at least you can get a tax deduction for it. All right, so that's all I got, and if you're accounting, I'm sure it's well over 25 items. If I missed something, let me know in the comments. If you're deducting something and I missed it on this list or I missed it in a previous video, let me know. Maybe I'll shoot a video about it. If you've been watching these videos that I've been doing and you're getting value out of them, which you should be, because you should be able to apply these deductions and save potentially thousands of dollars in taxes, please do subscribe. I'd appreciate it if you maybe like this video or some of the other videos. Share it with a friend. I'm sure they would appreciate saving a few $1,000s in taxes for their small business. If you want to contact me and you're watching this on YouTube, there's many ways to get in contact with me, usually left in the description below. But if you're watching this on a different platform and you want to get a hold of me, you can visit my website. It's navimirajcpa.com. Pretty straightforward. And there's even a link to my calendar there. Throw 10 minutes on my calendar, introduce yourself, and see if there's one way that I can help you. Again, just want to say I appreciate all the comments and feedback. Like I said, do subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.